Hey everyone, today's July 19th and you can see in front of me it's been a long time since I placed these houseplant cuttings in this tray, and it's because I just kind of, let them go, and I had a lot of other things to do outside in the greenhouse, and I'm still working outside, a lot of watering to do, and kind of let them go. So they're going to be rooted in really good, but look at them, they look pretty good, don't they? I got a few with a few spots on, but I can trim them off. We're going to put them in some bigger hanging baskets today. That's what we're going to be doing. Now there also is going to be a little shock to these once I get them out of this tray. But in all honesty, I know I can make it work. Look how big they have grown. I don't know if you can see them, but they are trailing. They are trailing like crazy. And these were small plants when I put them in, but now they're just really something else. So that worked pretty well, making some new cuttings, new plants out of these house plants. So let's get them potted today. Alright, so basically I am just going to go in here. I filled up my couple hanging baskets with, this is the soil I always use. It's just a peat and perlite and bark mix. I have a lot of it on hand, and that's what I use. Use what works for you and what you are used to growing in and what you have good luck with, okay, for your house plants. This one here is the Philodendron Silver, right there. And I'm going to show you once I get done. I actually have one of these in a bigger pot. I'm going to be pulling that one out too, maybe, and repotting it. It's a very pretty philodendron. And I'll get you a close-up of that in a minute. I'm in a new location, if you noticed. I'm in my room. We moved everything in this growing room now. I got my lighting in here too, and I kind of like it. It's just a little small room that's going to work good and nice and private and quiet, that I could do my videos in the winter time and now also. So I'm just going to pull up some here, and like I said, I know that they're really rooted. Look at that. Isn't that something else? So I'm going to have to try to be kind of careful when I do this. Make sure I get some root with all of them. Shouldn't have let them go this long, but things happen sometimes, don't they? They really do. Okay, here I got a really nice one right there. I'm just going to place them in the pot over here. Actually, what I'll do is pull a few out and set them aside. There's another one that's rooted nice. Once I get these out of here, it's not going to be so bad. But I know I let them go, and it just happens. These will bounce back for me. I know they will. Look at the roots on those. Actually, some rooted up further. I'm just going to pull that off because I don't want them rooted right there. I'm going to plant them right here. Look at that one. It's nice. Got a brown leaf, but that one can be pulled off. That's going to be great. Sure, this is going to be some transplant shock. There's no doubt about it. Can't be helped. But all you got to do is let them rest. So as you can see, the Philodendron Silver, I got lots of them. And look at them massive, beautiful roots right there. Nice and white. They look really great. So now we're going to pot them up. I don't know, I'm going to probably put several in each pot. And like I said, some of these I got the root up further. I'm just going to pull that root off. I really don't want that in there. This is a pretty good sized pot. It's a 12-inch pot. All over in this pot, and set them in, set the roots in, and bury them. It's nice to do this. Propagation's always good, especially sometimes you lose your plants, and it's nice to have backups. It really is. Try to get most of your roots down in the soil. This isn't hard to do. And I can add and adjust a little bit of soil as needed. Now this isn't going to look very pretty at first. It is going to take some time for it to get growing and to adjusting and to look nice. Now I could put all these in individual pots. Sure, I could. But I got one nice big pot here, and I'm going to probably make 2 hanging baskets out of here the way it looks. I can't believe the roots on these. Check that out. It's very nice. Now is to get them in the soil. Down in there, and then I'm going to add some soil on top of it here. Cover them up a little bit. Put the soil around the plant. I think that'll be enough for one pot, don't you? So we do have enough for one more pot. I'm going to do another pot up, and then we're going to water them in, and then we're going to go get to the pothies. Alright, you guys, I got 2 pots of the Philodendron Silver. They look pretty good. We'll water them in now really well, and then I'm going to let them sit in a shaded area out in my patio for quite a while until I can tell that they're perked up and they've taken root to their new environment here. I have a huge pothos. This is where I took my cuttings from. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, you can correct me, but it's so hard to know sometimes. But I'm going to replant this one in a bigger pot today, and then also we are going to be taking the cuttings that I started way back, and we're going to be planting them in a pot. So let's move this one. Alright, I already got them out of the tray, but I wanted to show you something. Look at the roots on those. Look at this. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Isn't that something? So it rooted quite well, and I think I might trim these off a little bit. This got plenty of root right here, so if I take and trim this off, I don't think it's really going to matter that much. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut them off. And I don't have as many pothos as I do the others. It's a philodendron, but this will be enough for a pot, for sure. It will be. So there's the amount I have to get going to put in this pot right here. And don't they look nice? Except for a few brown spots, which I'm going to trim them off and get started on it. And I'm actually watering these guys with worm tea, so that's a good deal. So basically, I got some soil. Like, again, I'm using the same type of soil. I'm just going to lay that in there, put some soil around it, and then I'm going to add some soil also. And when you're placing them in your pots, you want to spread them out a little bit. Like I said, I'll trim these roots and before I put them in. It's going to give them some shock. There ain't no doubt about it. But they'll be fine. Shoot, they lasted in this tray so long. I know they're tough. It's all about care, the care you're giving them too. Some of these I'm just going to lay in there, and then I'm going to add some soil. This one's huge. My goodness. Almost should trim him again. Look how long he is. All from one cutting. Crazy, isn't it? So I think what I might do is just trim this one. It's a little bit much. Once I get them in there, now I'm just going to throw some soil on them and kind of spread that out. Shake it a little bit. Kind of rearrange them if you have to. Make sure they're down in there, and they'll get going a lot better. But this one here is going to get a good trim. So that's pretty much it. Now I'll water them in, let them set, let them rest. Like I said, always good to let your plants rest once you transplant them. But it looks pretty good. It's going to be fine. So I wanted to show you how the emerald lace did as transplants. They did really well. As you can see, this one's in a 4-inch pot. It's very big. I got several of them here yet. Like I said, this is a great house plant, and these were from my cuttings that I did indoors. There's some more up here. So just out of a few cuttings, I have another new basket. A new basket of the pothos. Another new basket of the philodendron. This is the original plant. I had to transplant it. And these are the other two that were from the cuttings. So we're going to let them rest, and then they're going to be going out in my patio. I hope that's helped you somebody today. If you got any questions on propagating houseplants, let me know. But it worked exactly how I did it in this video, and everything's good. Everything looks good. You just got to tend to them. You got to make sure you keep them watered and keep an eye on them, because you cannot let them go and just expect them to thrive without some attention. This one's here is awesome. It's going to be great once I get it watered in. It's a big one. It goes all the way down the floor there. This, like I said, this is the original one. So this is Diane. I hope you enjoy this video, and get propagating those houseplants if you can. Do your research, and if you got any questions, just post them below. You know, I'd love to hear from you. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.